Scotland. The country where I was born and still live. I've spent years as an archaeologist, unearthing all sorts of treasures from her past. For me, it's an ancient and magical place, and I always found the beauty of this country overwhelming, even humbling. I've often thought that Scotland's popular history is a bit like that landscape. Always changing, impossibly romantic, often hidden by mists and low cloud, and above all, packed with legends and heroic characters. But that's not history, it's mythology. And it's cursed Scotland's past and present. How we think about the past shapes our view of today. So I want to look beyond the legends to find the real story of Scotland, and it's every bit as thrilling. This first episode is about the birth of Scotland, a birth that was far from inevitable. For many centuries, the mountains and lochs behind me were home to a patchwork of disparate peoples and tongues. It was a land invaded again and again. So how was it that a loose collection of tribes living in the northern third of Britain came together and built a kingdom with its own distinct culture and identity? A kingdom that would change the shape and the destiny of Britain forever. Then, in AD 409, as the empire collapsed, they helped expel them from British shores altogether. The Romans left behind crumbling ruins and a new name for the Caledonians: the Picti. We know them better as the Picts. The word means the painted ones, for these were the last of the peoples of Britain to cover their bodies with tattoos. The term started as a nickname, but came to mean much more: a powerful northern people, synonymous with pride. The Picts tattooed themselves with the same designs and symbols used on their jewellery and stones. Artistic skills that showed them to be no wild barbarians. More evidence of early Pictish culture has come from the peaty waters of Loch Tay. Here, 4 metres down, archaeologists came across the remains of an ancient stronghold, fragments of a thatched roof and stumps. They were the stilts of a building that once stood above the water. A dwelling in which people loved, lived, and fought. By reconstructing the Crannog, as it's called, archaeologists realised just how skilled and well organised Pictish society must have been. How do you build one of these?
We had to learn from scratch, because obviously we hadn't got a tradition of building like this handed down to us from generation to generation. So you've got to line up your supplies, you've got to know how to cut down the trees, you've got to know how to get them in the right place, you've got to have the right manpower and skilled labour workforce. The people who built Crannogs like this were affluent, they enjoyed a great diet, probably communicating and trading further afield. Some of the little objects that we found do not come from here, such as jet, which is commonly found from Whitby, northeast England. So, and one of the theories is it's a big house. This house could sustain maybe a family of 20 or even up to 40 people. So maybe if there were times of trouble, any other people supporting the community who were living on the shore in less secure housing could all come in and be secure in a what effectively is a water castle.
Crannogs have been found all over Scotland, many from the Pictish period. Their civilization had put down roots. But then, centuries later, the Picts become the subject of one of the most intriguing mysteries of Dark Age Europe. They seem to disappear from history forever. This vanishing act has given the Picts an aura of romance. They've become a legendary, almost alien people, inhabiting a limbo world, part historical and part mythological. But like any good mystery story, there's a twist. The Picts seem to disappear at the exact moment when the Kingdom of Scotland is born.